Welcome to Lillian's Test Kitchen. My name is Lillian and I make grain-free, dairy-free, cane sugar-free, and soy-free recipes for the very first time on camera. And today, Annie and I are talking about sugar addiction. I've been wondering about sugar addiction for a while. It doesn't really make sense to me why something that I turned out I'm allergic to, I was so addicted to. It felt very intense and filled with shame, and I felt terrible about myself, because I couldn't just have just one piece ever, or two. Whatever size bag I bought of generally gummy bears or jelly beans, I love the chewy things, that was what I ate. No matter what, I would eat until I was sick every time, and I felt completely out of control and completely at the mercy of this craving, of this desire, this, I guess, addiction. And it turns out that I'm severely allergic to cane sugar. I don't know why I wanted it so much. Why do I want the things that are terrible for me? Why am I addicted to the things that I'm allergic to?
I'm going to answer it on a surface level. I'm not going to get super technical and deep, but if you want to look up sugar addiction, use good old friend Google. You can get really technical into all the process.
I could just Google this?
I'm just saying if you want the deep technical answer. So
I want the Annie answer.
Here's the Annie answer. Our bodies can kind of operate on a more deep, sustainable level, or else the momentary, instant gratification level. And so it's interesting because they're they're very separated. They're very far apart. It's not like
it's not like it's a fine line.
Right, no, they're very different ways of operating. So, for instance, if you were starving right now and you had absolutely nothing to eat, you might consider eating your shoes. That's a long ways away from, I'm a little bit hungry, but I know I have plenty of food in my fridge. You will not consider eating your shoes. Yeah. With sugar addictions, I find that it's related to a couple specific things. One, not feeling like we can have pleasure in our lives, or not knowing how to get pleasure that works for us, and understanding what kinds of sugars work for my body. Ultimately, sugar is what all the processes in our body operate off of. So our body, it's fuel, that the sugar, and that whatever we eat that we don't use goes into fat. And so if we're eating what I would call quick sugars, like cane sugar, starches, some carbs that are quick burning, they're that instant gratification, we can have a tendency to overload on them, and then we end up storing a lot of them in our bodies, which then ends up creating an environment of inflammation in our body. Our bodies become an acidic environment. So even if you think of a swimming pool, there could be one little leaf in the pool or one little bit of bacteria, and the pool balance will be able to handle it. But if the whole thing gets flooded with junk, then it creates this whole environment where all kinds of things can breed and grow. And this is the same thing with your body. The more acidic it gets, then the more it feeds off of starches, carbs, and sugars. And the more it gets hooked on having that quick fix of, ultimately the systems in your body are junked up, clogged up, and backed up with fats. I mean, literally all the systems in your body, your cardiovascular, and your liver especially. And so your body then will feel sluggish and slow and will immediately want a high. And so, of course, if it's I have to go to work or I have to go to the gym or whatever, you're going to want starches, carbs, sugars. So you're going to want that quick fix to get you going again, because it would take, at that point, a serious clean out. It's not as if you have some carrot juice and you're going to feel instantly better. That actually probably you're going to feel worse for a little bit. That you will go through a detox period where your body will then rid itself of all that extra junk that it's carrying around in the fat cells. And that would be more of a sustainable way of operating. So if you're clearing out all of the junk, your body won't crave that kind of sugar anymore, because it will know it can get something more sustainable that actually fuels it better. It's kind of like we talked about, the one end of the spectrum or the other. If your body is literally just starving for nutrients and nourishment, it's going to go for the junk. But if your body knows that it can get more potent, powerful, sustainable nutrition, then of course, that's what will taste good and feel good. And so, like you talked about earlier a little bit with willpower, it's like, it's not a quick transition to go from being addicted to sugar and starches and carbs to eating in a way that feels better. It takes conscious planning and conscious work to clear out all the junk and start eating in a different way. I know for myself, I don't crave, like, I don't walk past the cookie aisle in the grocery store and want to eat any of them. They all seem gross to me now. I've found different types of sugar that I can eat that feel really good to me, that are satisfying. And like, I absolutely love dried mango. And so certainly different things are going to work for different people. Yeah. And I think it is also important to keep in mind the pH balance of your body, where your body is at, literally. So there are sometimes, I'm sure I couldn't eat mango either. If I was feeling really acidic, if I was on my period and getting over a cold and had a lot of inflammation going on in my body already, then mango might push me over the edge. But if I'm really alkaline, if my body is in a more alkaline state, low inflammation, then that I can handle eating 1-2 pieces of mango. Tastes good, my body can handle that level of sugar, and I'm good. The balance is still okay.